Why do you want that?
Because you all think that I saw a sign in the sky. I'm ready.
Muy nada.
There's something out there. I'm coming with you.
You can't.
I'm trying to protect you.
Protect me from what? It's time.
All right. Black Man Media Squad, it's your man, Chief Sak G, coming to you all live. Introductory episode of Black Men on Movies. I want to thank all y'all for joining us, man, on the YouTube and on the Facebook. I got my brother, the most entertaining man on the internet, Nachaswan. Joining me, Nachaswan, say what's up to the people, brother.
Hey, shalom, Lord Christ, everybody. What's going on?
Also joining me, we have the Iron Sapien himself, my brother Raim. Raim, say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's going on, people?
All right, man. What we're bringing y'all today is a review of the movie Prey. If you're looking on the screen right now, you see the trailer showing some of the snippets from the movie. Prey is the 2022 installment of the Predator series. It's actually a prequel to the 1987 Predator movie that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's been many movies that have come out in this franchise over the years, and for particularly those of a certain generation, the original Predator movie was one of those very classic action, suspense, horror, cross genre type movies. And like I said, Prey was meant to be a prequel to that 1987 movie that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. And first and foremost, just wanted to get you all's opinion on how you felt about the movie and the job that was done. Matter of fact, let me give you some details first. The movie was produced and directed by a man named his brother named Dan Trachtenberg, right? Dan Trachtenberg is known for his work on movies, the movie 10 Cloverfield Lane. He's also been a director for that show, The Boys, on Amazon Prime Video. He also directed some episodes of Black Mirror on Netflix. And so prior to this movie coming out, by his brother this cat being the director, there was a lot of, anticipation on how he would be able to handle the Predator franchise, which is one of those franchises that really has had several letdowns over the years of its releases. But starting first with you, Nachaswan, just generally, how did you feel about the movie Prey and its execution in terms of the pecking order of the Predator franchise?
Yeah, so I gave my take a couple of days ago, but I'll refresh it now because I understand the concept of why we have to do things like this. So I would just pretty much point out the things that I did like overall in the film. It's hard to say, but I think the main thing that I did ultimately enjoy versus everything else was, I would say, the action. I think that some of the action scenes were shot pretty decent. The CGI looked kind of choppy from time to time, especially with the animals. But the action was pretty well done for a Hulu exclusive. I don't think that they were working with a big budget, but that director, like you said, he did 10 Cloverfield Lane, which didn't have much of a budget. It was pretty much shot claustrophobic style inside of like a one room. So when you have that type of experience, it'd be easy to make a movie like this feel grand if you're given a little bit more money. But I think the action definitely was probably what I liked about the movie, but that's and the Native American aspect as well. But we'll get to that later. But those two things probably stood out more than everything else, though, for me at least.
Okay, Raim, what was your? How did you feel about the movie in general?
I believe like this movie, the new movie Prey is still in that void that time as far as like good sci-fi. You know what I'm saying? Like the movies Predators haven't been, you know, since Arnold Schwarzenegger, and with this movie, that kind of vibe. I loved it how America with the North American Indian. Loved it. I loved the plot, the story. As far as the director who directed this movie was also a show called The Voice. Top is the one of the top mainstream period. So, what about that?
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, if I could, your audio is a little choppy, Raim. I'm not sure if it's the area you in, but we getting you coming in and going out. But I pick up from what you're saying that for you, you know, the movie filled the gap of that, you know, suspense horror action genre that the Predator movies, you know, initially established with the movie back in 1987. I think you said you liked how they utilized the Native American Indian culture. And I think that for me, that was one of the things that really stuck out with this movie. I like the way they utilized the time period properly. You know, the movie set in, I believe, 1719, takes place in the North American plains. And I think the director, like you alluded to, Nachaswan, in his previous movies, he's dealt with, you know, small sets, particularly the movie 10 Cloverfield Lane, and even some of the Black Mirror, the TV show Black Mirror on Netflix. You watch some of those episodes, that's like a Twilight Zone, got a Twilight Zone feel to it. A lot of those seem like they're smaller productions, smaller sets, but with him having access to utilize a setting that takes place in the Great Open Plains, I think the movie did a really good job of just making you feel like you were in the natural element of the North American wilderness out there with those Native Americans. I think they did a good job paying homage to the North American culture. It wasn't. I like how the movie wasn't too like they didn't make it on some religious type of thing or they worshiping some
Yeah,
god. Nah,
right.
she's just a coming of age story, and they hunting and out there in the midst of them getting their hunt on, there's something that's hunting them. You know what I mean? I definitely
Um,
like the way the movie gave you the feel that the predator was that. It was a predator and it was hunting, and it just with the plot, you know, kind of flowed well with the way that they set it up. Go ahead, Nakashwan.
oh yeah, so like I also want to pose a question, like just to the room itself, right? Because what I'm trying to grasp my mind around is this: do you guys think that they only use the Native American culture so for this prequel, quote unquote prequel, so that way they can get the wilderness shots? Because I think that if we talk about a Predator prequel, right? If we talk about that before this movie existed, like us three, we came up with brothers and sisters online. We came together and like, what would a Predator prequel look like? Of course, we would need some type of jungle or a forest setting. And I think that they used the Native American culture in that realm just so that we can get a forest type of feel to the movie. So if they didn't have the Native American feel, what would this Prey movie be? Who
Well,
would be the culture? You know what I mean?
well, it's interesting you say that because there's actually some Easter eggs in the movie. The reason why the movie is set in 1719 is because in the Predator 2 movie, if anybody's seen Predator 2, Predator 2
Oh
was the
yeah,
one that starred Danny Glover, and it took place,
yeah.
I believe, in the inner city of Detroit, and he was a detective. Now, that's a movie that critics, you know, there's a lot of critics that laughed at that movie. You know what I mean? And the idea of Danny Glover running around in the city, you know, fighting
Yeah.
with this intergalactic hunter. I'm trying to get the movie poster up there. At the end
Oh,
of
please,
Predator,
no.
listen, at the end of Predator 2, when Danny Glover was victorious over the Predator and he gets on the ship, the
Yeah.
Predators that come out is like it's almost as if we're paying homage to Danny Glover. Like, man, you killed one of our killers. They give him a gun, an old style gun, and on the gun it has an inscription and it says 1719 on it.
Mhm.
So this movie, the tie into this movie and the Predator 2 was the gun that she used in the movie is the gun that was given back to Danny Glover. So, and you saying that the 1719, that's how they tied in the setting taking place in North America and in the plains, right? So I kind of like how that was an Easter egg showing that maybe this was something that was already pre-planned. But um it's interesting because in the first Predator movie, you didn't really get any of those cultural aspects because of course the first Predator movie took place in the Cambodian jungle during Vietnam, or in the jungle during Vietnam. So you didn't have any of those elements of uh any have to deal with the culture of the people at that time. I guess the first Predator movie was really in the time of the macho ultra masculinization action movies where you just had a bunch of super strong ass warriors in the jungle fighting this even stronger, thing. But I just like having given that the North American plains was the set piece. I just like how they allowed the Native Americans to just be who they were. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was any what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Any bad portrayals or characterizations
Yeah.
of those people or their
Like
cultures.
misuse. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it was nothing. No, I don't think there were any caricatures. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. I think
Brian,
that.
you had something on that?
Oh yeah, my bad. Salon.
I like the representation of and as far as like they've been represented bad and bad, you know what I'm saying, for a while. I could come up with like blacks, Hispanics, and like the superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I know what I'm saying.
For sure. You still going out, Raim. See if you could drop out and maybe come back in, and I'll see if the audio tightens up. But it's still going off pretty bad. Now let's kind of get
Okay.
into the plot a little bit of the movie. So we got the set piece. You know, both of you seem to agree that it was a decent movie. You like the action. Um, what about the storytelling in the movie? I mean, of course, the movie is isolated in this time period during 1719. Like I said, it's a coming of age story where you have this village of Native American Indians, and there's, for the men, there's a coming of age where they all get to become men. They go on their little hunt, and the movie centers around a female who was a member of this village, and she is one of those. She is one of those.
You can say cap.
I'm just gonna say she's a heroine who has
Yeah.
ambitions to be accepted by the boys. She wants to be accepted and wants her skill and ability to be able to hunt to be respected, amongst her peers. But I kind of like how the movie didn't make it any like she wasn't a He-Man. She wasn't on no supernatural, super strong. I'm like one of the boys. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like how the movie gradually shows she's out there by herself with her little dog. She got a little, her hatchet. She throwing it. Then she, put a little thing on it. As she's out there trying to hunt, trying to prove herself. She gets trapped up out there in the mud, and it just kind of goes through her little struggle of trying to prove herself. But I don't think the movie made her masculine. I don't think the movie did like it wasn't no she didn't do anything super heroic. I think she kind of the movie did a good job of just showing her growth and
Hello?
development from the beginning of the movie to the end. Brian, you there?
Can y'all hear me?
There you go, brother. You loud and clear now. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah.
All right, is it better?
Now you good to go. You good to go. So, Raim, how did you feel about the storytelling and the character development in the movie?
I Soccer War. The main character too manly. Still portrayed as a woman. It's kind of like this is masculine how you say it. Sci-fi movies. What's that movie? Character name? Sarah Connor. Sarah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? With this character that would like defeat the predator, throughout, like this happened multiple times with aliens. You know what I'm saying? With Vader, I think this character development was how she want to respect her brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pray. I liked it.
Okay, Raim, you still going in pretty bad. Now, Carson, I'm gonna let you go ahead and hop in there. Raim, do me a favor. I'm gonna see if I can get you in on the phone line. Call me on the phone, Raim. I'm gonna see if I can get you to come through the speakers. All right. Go ahead,
Okay, come on.
Nachaswan. What were you gonna say about the character development? And I guess you feel like you chomping at the bit to go in on the main character. Come on with it, Nachaswan.
Yeah, just a little bit. Like this storytelling is not as egregious as like Captain Marvel or Thor: Love and Thunder. It's not that egregious in the sense that it is heavily reliant on the feminist agenda, which we all know is to pretty much destroy the male character. But it's not 100%, but it is damn near like 80%. It's not on as high, but just for me, when we watch movies like this in this time period, they need to attract the male audience. So this is what they do. They take a franchise that men love, but then at the helm of the franchise, you have the strong woman led character. So when you go and you're thinking about Sarah Connor, you're thinking about like Eon Flux and all these other type of characters who are badass in nature. So you're like, okay, cool, this is going to be all right. But then you see with this main character, and this is talking about the storyline. Since we're talking about that, there's no character arc here. There's like a character arc. It's called like the hero's journey. It's like a Rocky. Rocky in the beginning, he wasn't a great fighter at all. And then somewhere in the middle of the movie is where the arc actually happens. You see the training that goes into Rocky getting ready to fight Apollo. And you see his story from becoming a nothing boxer to something that at the end he's better than what he was. The arc is you're supposed to be the opposite of what you were in the beginning. I didn't get that with her in a way. They portrayed her as just like a girl who kind of like wanted to fight and then learn how to do it in the middle of the movie. Like she's actually training for it. And then at the end, I would have believed it more. But there's a lot of caveats in this movie. Like, for example, there's a scene where she's quote unquote getting ready for the predator. And you see these spears attached to a tree. You don't see her doing it, but it just shows up with Arnold. Arnold gathering rocks and shit. He's pulling on the vine to get him in the tree. You see him putting in the work to properly kill this thing. With her, it was already set up. She's already in the tree waiting for the predator at the exact moment to jump down on it. I didn't even see her climb the tree. It's like, that's the part that it took away from the storyline because I needed to see that. Had they showed me her climbing the tree and putting these things, putting these things together, I'd have been like, oh yeah, here we go. They did. Sarah Connor, she's doing push-ups and pull-ups and like, yo, I'm gonna kill this dude. I'm gonna kill the Terminator. This didn't have that, and I wish that it did. I wish it did.
Well, let me say this. I kind of felt like the movie did a good job of recognizing that this is a woman and recognizing that she did have limitations being a woman. I think they actually did a good job of utilizing her position within the culture, within her people, to highlight that she had a greater benefit, or she had a benefit being a woman, but also she had a desire to want to hunt. If you look at the movie, the title of the movie is Prey. And there were several instances where she encountered the predator in this movie, and the reason why she got away from the predator was because it looked at her like she wasn't a threat. If you go to the scene where she's out there, now if you go through the movie from the beginning, there's a scene where there's a mouse, right? And then the snake eats the mouse. Then the predator comes, boom, kills the snake. Why? Because the snake is a predator. Then there's a scene later on where there's a rabbit, and then there's a wolf that chases the rabbit. Predator comes, grabs up the wolf. Why? Because he was the predator. He didn't bother with the rabbit. Then the scene comes where she's out there with the bear. The predator goes for the bear, doesn't bother her because the bear was the predator. So in her position as a woman, and then later on, when the encounter occurs with the predator and the men of the village, there's a reason why she's in the position that she's in, and the men are dealt with the way that they're dealt with. Also, when they found that brother out there in the woods, her ability to provide medicine and to know the medicines that she was learning from her mother is what allowed them to be able to get that brother back safe to the village. But it's also what in turn turned out to be the thing that allowed her to be able to not be seen by the predator. You know what I'm saying? And in the scene where there's I don't want to give away too much of the movie, but the major action set piece where you really get to see the predator come out of the camouflage, there's a reason why she's able to get away, because even in that instance, she's there as a prey. She's never really seen as much of a threat. And I think they did a good job of showing that as a woman, there were things that she was able to do to enable her to have success in this fight, but it wasn't her overtaking or overthrowing or ultra masculating herself over the men. So
But
I
I
kind of
think,
like that they didn't show her doing push-ups and doing pull-ups and out there, punching trees, because it's like that ain't what no girl do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
yeah, but
think it.
she's
I mean,
still, I don't know, she's still kind of, but she still embodies that masculinity to the degree where she's not even afraid. Like, I hear what you're saying, and then if we take a look and we look at, like, okay, the movie is called Prey. Clearly, she would be that in this aspect, the way that you're laying it down, which I understand, and that's cool. But I think what that does is it takes away from the seriousness of the predator, because I never known the predator to not kill something. Like, that's why he's called the predator. And if he just attacks predators, you take away that seriousness from him. You know what I mean? Like, he kills everything. That's the point. It's not to be like, oh, well, this is a girl. So I think we shoehorn that in to give her more of the softer edge or the soft quality. Like, oh, he's not. She's the prey. Yeah, okay. But I think that it'd have been a different story if, and this is just me shooting from the hip, it would have been a little bit of a different story if it was more like an apocalypto or like a Last of the Mohicans, like a real war field, and there's a father raising the son. Just picture like 300, when a father is training a son to be this great warrior, this great fighter, and this threat then comes. They don't know that the predator even exists. The predator is studying them and seeing how they fight and how they do things. The white man comes, of course, as true fashion. And now the predator gets a real look at what war is, and he's looking at probably the greatest predator of all time, which is Esau, in this manner. So he's like, damn, this guy, he's the one. And then he kills these guys, and then you get the story of the son now possibly having to deal with the predator, because the predator thinks ain't nothing left. He done killed everybody, but this boy is growing up and training in a way so that way he can kill the predator, because he just seen what the predator can do. Thus, now the predator is a threat to his people. So I would have been like, oh, okay. But I hear your point. Like, if we had seen her doing push-ups and putting those spears on trees, I get it. She's a girl, but they showed it anyway. She put the spears on a tree. They were just there. Like, no showing me how she did it, how it happened. It just they up there. She's a girl, so You know, she did it. I mean,
Come on,
why
Ryan,
not?
jump in. Come on and
Oh,
jump
my
in,
bad. Yes,
Ryan.
sir.
No sweat. Yeah, we can hear you. Let the people let us know how clearly you coming across. But I made some little arrangements to our audio. So come on, Ryan.
Oh, okay. What was the question though?
Now I was just saying, how did you feel about the overall storytelling and the portrayal of the main character and how that came across?
Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
My fault. I said I was asking, how did you feel about the portrayal of the main character and the storytelling aspect of the movie and how her journey, her coming of womanhood journey was portrayed in the film.
Oh, as far as the story goes,
I kind of do like this back to how the story started off with with the woman, you know what I'm saying, who learned the skill of medicine, and that as far as like the character development wise, she didn't start off being a hunter. You know, so the only thing that she learned was throwing the axe. You get my point?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah. So like it didn't start off her being super manly and like that. Like this shows her as an actual woman. You know what I'm saying? Like not her trying to be no man. It's just this shows the fact that how she's fighting to get respect from her older brother. You know what I'm saying? And I like how they put like actual history in the movie. You know, it was a scene where the sister saw like the skin of animals whatnot in the field. The skin buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how they put like actual history, you know what I'm saying, within the movie. And like I like how like even though the character died in the movie, but every single one of them, like the Native brothers, man, they was doing damage to the predator. They were doing damage. Like they went out fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like these cats was no cowards. You know what I'm saying? They was like doing the little yelling, whatnot, the little war cries and whatnot. I like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like how like characters, you know what I'm saying, even though they died, without, you know what I'm saying, fighting. You know what I'm saying? I love that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
like
definitely.
The action was hands down like far as I think like one of the best ever.
Yeah, and I'm definitely with you on that, Raim. I really like how they, like I said, I don't feel like there was any caricatures or any, it wasn't a minstrel show with them using the Native Americans. And I also like that they actually had got some real life, Native Americans to actually play the characters. You know what I'm saying? The main character in the movie, I believe, what is her name? She actually is a Native American, and it was one of the, first times.
Amber Mid Thunder.
Amber Mid Thunder, you know what I'm saying? She's actually played in a few other movies, but I just really like how they had the cast, gave it a authentic Native American feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't feel like they were characterized at all. Now, some people may, being in the truth, of course, we're gonna look at it like, well, what's the message they trying to send about these Native Americans? You know what I mean? I seen brothers saying, the Native Americans could kill a predator, but they couldn't kill them devils that was out there skinning those buffaloes. You know what I'm saying? We living in a time of, representation is a big thing. And so we're going to see in Hollywood more and more, hopefully, we'll see more honorable portrayals of our people. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but I do like how there was some honor given to these Gadites in this movie. There was some honor given to these Native Americans. Like Raim said, the brothers went out fighting like soldiers. You know what I'm saying? The sister, she killed the predator for all the, how we feel about the feminism aspect of it. She killed that motherfucker. She got him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And in the end had to triumph. But I do like how they showed the cruelty and the predatory nature of those colonizers. You know what I'm saying? That scene when she comes out into that field and she sees all those buffaloes that skinned and they ain't even, knowing the history of the Native Americans and how they utilize those buffaloes for every piece of the animal for sustenance. It wasn't just, they weren't killing for fun. They weren't hunting for furs. You know what I'm saying? But to see the same way that you see the predator in the movie killing for no reason and leaving the carcasses of animals, she comes into a field and there's an entire field of buffaloes that's just carcasses are left there to rot and go to waste. Also, these devils can, gather up furs and go and do commerce and go and do business. So I like how it was shown that even though these people were the people, the Native Americans, they were warriors. There were a more predatory and more cruel in nature people who were also their adversaries at that time. You know what I'm saying? And I like how the predator got off on their ass. Salagi, you know what I'm saying? Them brothers, them Native American brothers, they stood strong and they put they, you know what I'm saying, put their thing down fighting this invisible thing. But then when it came to them colonizers, they was all scared and pissing in their boots and got the, the full out wrath of the predator put down on their ass. So it was good to see that as well.
Hey, Sly, if I could too, though, Kevin.
Go ahead.
Like I like this movie because it was an all native cast,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And plus, like when you see films like with all black cast, with superheroes like Blade, Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? There was always some white savior in those films.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this film didn't have one. You know what I'm saying? Like they did this shit all on their own.
Yeah.
You get my point? And that right there, like I highly respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Native Americans had a reputation in films that we haven't seen in a very long time. And it's a come up. It's a real come up, you know what I'm saying, for Blacks, Hispanics, and Indians to be represented as they should in these films. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a respect of culture, you know what I'm saying? Respect to how, you know what I'm saying, we came up, and it's no shame of showing what really happened. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no shame of like telling like what really went down. No shame of telling the damn truth. You know what I'm saying? Like when we show like these native films, you know what I'm saying, they portray us as like savages. They portray the white man as a savior, but this film flipped the script. You know what I'm saying? Like the natives, there was one that was being civilized, trying to survive during the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? Now like the French colonizers came in, you know what I'm saying, just destroying everything. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. I definitely agree with you on that. Nachaswan, let me just ask you this. How did you feel about, the execution of, like where would you say this movie ranks in the, I don't want to say pantheon, but on the list of the Predator movies? You know what I mean? Have you seen, now, for this is for both of you, have you seen all the Predator movies? And where do you say this movie ranks in the hierarchy of the Predators?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. I don't know if they count the Alien vs. Predator as a part of this, but I think that it's difficult because I would still rank Predator, the first one, number one, although this is a prequel. For storytelling purposes, it would be in order. Like this would be first ranked for me for story purposes. But for action purposes, the original Predator holds up pretty well. That's how I would rank it. I would go original Predator, this one, and then I would definitely go Predator 2 because I know like a lot of people don't like that one, but it's funny to me. Like it's hilarious to see Danny Glover hanging out the side of a car. It's hilarious.
Old Danny Glover. It wasn't even the new Danny Glover, bro. It was old Danny Glover. it was Riggs and Murtaugh Danny Glover.
Yeah, with the tank top and the damn.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all.
Old Danny Glover. Okay. Raim, what about you? Where do you see this ranks in the hierarchy of the Predator movies?
I would go with. I still agree with Arnold Schwarzenegger still be like number one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I will use Prey as number two. Would y'all include Alien vs. Predator?
I think you got to include Alien vs. Predator, and you also have to include Predators. You got to include all of them. You can't be In the hierarchy, you ask me.
I don't really be sidetracked, but Alien vs. Predator, man, like storyline, storyline goes back further. It goes back. It's like it shows like the purpose of the Predator in each film. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Prey summed it all up. Cause like we it showed like the scene where the Predator was hunting the snake and the Predator was hunting like the wolf, hunting the bear. Like it showed like the exact purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? And so I kind of like, so Prey would be like my second film. Alien vs. Predator with Sanaa Lathan, I think that'll be my third. I believe Predator 2 with Danny Glover, that'll be my next one. And the last one would be, what was the last one? Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I think that was like the worst one to me.
Okay. Don't forget about Predators, which is the one where they dropped them all on the planet. It was just a random
I forgot about that. Yeah, Predators.
hunting movie.
I think, Predators. I forgot the main actor's name. I forgot his name.
I think his name was Adrian Brody. Adrian Brody is the main actor in that one.
Okay, I'll say it would be like my top 5.
Yeah. Five. For me, I think it goes Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Prey, which was just released, Predator 2 with Danny Glover, Predators with Adrian Brody, and then Alien versus Predator. I ain't gonna lie, I did not like the Alien versus Predators at all. I thought they was garbage. I think it was just a throwaway excuse to have a Predator in the movie. And I think my bias towards Predator versus Alien was because I played a video game called Alien versus Predator, and that game was the shit, my man. You talking about a fun video game? Okay, no, I'm talking about the computer version. There was an Alien versus Predator game back in the day where you could be the aliens, you could be the predators, or you could be the Marines. My man, that was a game.
I remember that game.
That was my shit. And when that movie Alien vs. Predator came out, that shit was nothing like the game. I was like, man, y'all dropped the ball on this shit, bro. Y'all did everybody dirty. You know what I'm saying? But nah, let's talk about the Predator a little bit, right? Because this Predator was a specifically kind of ugly, right? All the Predators are ugly. We know they got the tall dreads, you know what I'm saying? But there's a history of, facial reveals of these predators. And for much of this movie, this one, face was hidden. He was, covered up, had the mask on. Um, there's we get a look at the face towards the end of the movie, and he's just like I said, he's a particularly ugly motherfucker, which is to use the language that Arnold Schwarzenegger used. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny Glover used that similar language. But how did y'all feel about the facial reveal of the Predator in this one?
It didn't impact like how it normally did in the last films. I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like when every like facial reveal of the Predator. You know what I'm saying? It was like an oh shit moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is like when they gonna really like show like they true strength. They're gonna show like they gonna go berserk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in this film, it didn't do that though. I think the Predator, you know what I'm saying, did more damage when he had his face covering on, and when he got his mask off, he got more stupid. like me got killed with his own weapon. So the Predator got more stupid. You know what I'm saying? The Predators in the last one, they were smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know how to use their tools, they know how to think ahead, you know what I'm saying? But this Predator was Salakia.
Go ahead, Nachaswan.
This Predator was the dumbest. First of all, he was dumb looking. And he was just stupid. And again, like Raim said, which is a very true thing, when the Predator took that face mask off, right? It usually meant like, okay, it's it's party time. He's taking it off like, yo, all right, let me stop playing with y'all. Let me touch my wrist. I'm about to blow my wrist up. But when he takes it off, first of all, it sounds like he's chewing like a sunflower seed. It's like, and he takes it off, and I'm like, that's it. Put the mask back on. This guy, he didn't look threatening at all. Like he looked like the thing from Stranger Things. That's immediately as soon as I saw him, I thought Stranger Things. Then that took me way out of the movie because now I'm thinking about a Stranger Things series, and he didn't look threatening at all. Was he ugly? Sure. But the previous Predators were ugly, but that's what made them terrifying. You know, this guy takes his face mask off. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be a long night. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was very disappointed with the reveal. They're very disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I got a picture up now. All of the Predator faces over the years. I mean, these are all some ugly motherfuckers. But like y'all said, in the other Predator movies, the helmet coming off was like, oh, now you done made me mad. It's like you done pissed me off now. But with this one, when his helmet came off, it was like he was lost in the wilderness. It was damn near like he had 1719 technology. Like, damn, Mr. Predator, you telling me that all you got is this helmet? Goddamn, you can't see nothing, you can't hear nothing. But okay, that also goes into the storytelling and the plot because her using the little orange flowers is what allowed her to not be seen. So, you know what I'm saying? But y'all right though. There was he could have just kept that helmet on the whole goddamn movie. You know what I'm saying? He took that helmet off. He took that helmet off, and she got stuck in that goddamn. He got stuck in that mud. She had that helmet set up. He blew his own. And here's what I didn't understand: if he know that goddamn helmet is attached to the wherever the helmet pointing, that's where the bullet gonna shoot. Why the hell would you shoot if you know you ain't got your helmet? Nigga, what the hell wrong with you? Like he was bullshitting. He should have known. All right, I ain't got my helmet. I can't shoot this bitch. Why would you even pull the gun out? You know what I'm saying? But that's another one of those. Another thing I really enjoyed about the movie again was the Easter eggs and how they paid homage to the previous installments in the series. Again, she has her moment in that moment in the mud. It immediately took me back to the original Predator with Arnold. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's gonna get under this, she's gonna fall under, come out the mud, and that's how it's not gonna see her. But that wasn't the purpose that they utilized it for. But it was a nice, recall to the original movie. But then later on, when she utilizes that experience to trap him, it also made me think of the movie Apocalypto, right? Where it was, this is my father's forest. And he hunted in this forest before me. You know what I'm saying? Like she utilized her knowledge of the forest. That's what got her over the edge. You know what I'm saying? Once his ugly ass got stuck in that mud, it was over with. You know what I'm saying? But I just like how the movie had a lot of recalls to the previous installments. And then at the end, when she's asking, she to get him to shoot her, he's stuck in that mud, and she's like, shoot me, come on, do it. It's like Arnold when he was in that mud, and he was telling the Predator, come on, come get me, come shoot me now. It was like a good recall to that. I really like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like in the Predators, like the more they hunt, the more they learn.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think like the first Predator was like the dumbest one. So they got smarter and smarter. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. We'll chop it up to that. You know what I'm saying? We'll chop it up to that.
You know what I'm saying? I think what's name in the Predators film with Lawrence Fishburne, that was with Lawrence Fishburne. He explained how they will like observe their prey.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they'll come back with better weapons and better arms, stuff like that. I believe this Predator was dumb for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That way the Predators can get smarter and smarter. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look throughout the films, man, like their technology was superb throughout the films.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the dude, his guns were like needles. He had needles for guns. You know what I'm saying? But in the other films, they had lasers, they had body armor. You know what I'm saying? They had spears, they had all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So you saying that this Predator was more primitive because it was at a more primitive time. And as our technology has gotten better, so of course, so has theirs. I see what you're saying with that.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right,
Yeah,
so now let's talk about things that we absolutely did not like about the movie. You know what I'm saying? We'll start with you, Nachaswan. What is your overall greatest critique of the movie?
oh yeah, here we go. I've waited for this for 40 minutes. I've been waiting. Okay. This movie. You got it. You know me, brother. This whole movie sucks. Let me just say that, okay? Let me just go off and just say that, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't say that. But I want to touch on Raim's point, because that really brings more clarity to how I'm about to destroy this with a critique. I think that this movie failed, what I didn't like is that they made the Predator dumb, which ultimately took me out of the movie completely, because why would you make the Predator dumb? I mean, now all of a sudden, the Predator, the thing that attracted me to even come watch this stupid movie, he's the dumb one. Now the chick is smarter, clearly, because she outsmarts him in this way. So I think that if they would have kept the look of the Predator, like the one that you got right now, Cap, you keep the original Predator. She doesn't kill him at the end, which allows him to go back into his ship. And to Raim's point, he upgrades his technology, so that way the next time you do see him, now he's in the original Predator that we know. And that Predator, you keep it like a regular traditional a villain in the movie. You don't change Darth Vader. You don't change Michael Myers. You don't change Jason Voorhees. They should have kept with the original Predator, make him the antagonist. So that way, when you see this chick go up against him, she doesn't necessarily kill him. She just beats him up pretty bad. He goes back into his ship, upgrades his tech, and then comes back, and now we see him in different iterations of the franchise. But this movie, that would be my biggest critique, is that at the end, like I said in my little small review, at the end when she threw that head to that brother and then they passed that staff off to her, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Here it comes. And then they showed the ladies chanting, and I was like, oh, they just had to, that killed the whole movie for me. And it was probably the worst scene because it didn't need to happen, but I understand why it happened. But overall, I think that's the biggest takeaway, that ending scene for me. And then her not being able to show us how she's pulling all of this off. She jumps out of a tree, the Predator's in quicksand. You knew he was going to be at that exact moment. You knew he was going to rise about it. What if he didn't come out of the quicksand? You know what I mean? Like, it's just too many tropes thrown around. But that's all I have to say about that.
All right, Raim.
I agree with what Kosh was saying as far as like the Predator goes. Like, you don't change Michael Myers, you don't change like Chucky, you don't change those type of characters on that part. The one scene that I was looking for, I like in the past films, like when a human kills a predator, it's supposed to be like a whole tribe of them showing up. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to like receive his body, present a gift to the person who killed the predator. You know what I'm saying? This film happened in Predator 2 when Danny Glover killed the predator, and the Predator chief gave Danny Glover a gift. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Alien vs Predator. When Sanaa Lathan was fighting alongside the Predator, I guess like the chief Predator gave her like this top speed or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of looking for that scene. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's kind of similar to like native tribes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like an exchange for certain gifts. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of looking for that in that film, man. I was kind of disappointed in that. And
Well, go ahead, Nachaswan. Go ahead.
So, like, if I could, Raim, this is the thing, bro. Like, they did do that. Here's how they did it, which is why I said this movie sucks. This is what they did. To your point, and you're very right about that, bro. That is absolutely correct, because that's the tradition. The Predator gives the person that killed their own a gift. But at the end of this movie, that does actually happen because now she is the predator. She is that apex predator because she killed the thing that kills things, right? So she comes, she throws that damn head, she throws that head. That's the first damn gift. And what's the second gift that she gives? She gives him the gun. Why is she giving him the gun? Because she's the predator. So when you look at that, because to your point, when they didn't bring that out in the movie, I was like, well, what the hell happened to the gift? And then I see her walking with the head. I'm like, oh no, she's saying that she's the predator. She got the paint on her face. They gave us that, but not in the way that would satisfy the hardcore fans like you and myself and Cap. But it happened. It definitely happened. But it's on a more subverted level. Go ahead, Cap. Lock it.
Well, so there's two things, right? I think to satisfy you all's desire to see what the rest of the Predator movie showed, which was the celebration of, the death of one of their own, right? If you watch the end credits of the movie, there's a Easter egg where the girl is pointing into the sky and they show 3 Predator ships coming out of the sky. It's at the end credits. It's like a cartoon where they're showing the story of the movie. And after she kills the Predator, there's 3 more ships that are coming out of the sky, right? And that would give you your how did Danny Glover get the gun if she killed the Predator and then gave it to the war chief, right? So that gives you your answer there. But I think overall what we're all saying is we don't like the way the social commentary had to be wrapped into the movie. And that's just something that's coming with entertainment nowadays. I mean, more and more we're able to see that a lot of this, what we call entertainment, is really programming and is really a subliminal way to get across certain ideologies or philosophies that are, specific to the time that we're living in or societal points. And so they had to make the woman the hero. She goes back to the village with the predator head, with the war paint on her face, and now what? She's supposed to lead the village. Now she's the war chief. Now we got to follow her into the great beyond. Like, you gotta not have that's a part of the entertainment we're going to be receiving. And so the reason why I wanted to have a platform like this is so that we can analyze these things and talk about them. I don't think it was too egregious in this movie. Like I said, I think it was kind of toned down the heroine aspect. I mean, I think they allowed her to still be a woman and still be feminine and still be vulnerable, even though but be smart. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like how they weren't too over the top. But that end scene was cringeworthy for you to be, a strong masculine man, and you like, bitch, what we supposed to follow you now? Like, bitch, thank you, but sit your ass down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gather them flowers, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Not even like that, but thank you. You did a good job. Now go, you know what I'm saying? Now we give you a husband. Now he can go deal with you. Now he can go be his prey. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's part of the culture that we're in. That's part of the society we're in. And so I think, we're going to continue to see that those cultural points being made, and I mean, those societal points being made in these movies like this. But I think we need to have a platform where we can break it down and talk about it and discuss it. For this movie in particular, though, I don't think it was too over the top. I just don't like that. You could tell there's a push that when they go to the drawing board, okay, we got this new Predator movie. It's gonna be the prequel. What are some things we have to have in it? And of course, the girl got to be the killer. Okay, that's the starting point. Girl got to be the victor. So now, how do we formulate a movie around that? And I definitely feel like this movie was crafted around girl killing Predator. So that's the starting point. First day of production, Predator movie prequel. Number 1, girl is the killer. Now we got to make a whole goddamn movie around that. But for that to be the starting point, I do think they did a good job on delivering us a quality action, scary thriller movie. It was a really good movie. I really enjoyed the storytelling. I really enjoyed, the character development for the girl, for her brother, even for the Predator. I know y'all I didn't see him as being a stupid predator, but I did see him as being a more primitive predator, like Raim had alluded to. So his technology isn't as advanced. He does get the little helmet, you know what I'm saying? He does have the little spears. I really like the callbacks to the old movie. I like the action sequence when he was fighting the colonizers through that goddamn net. That net was terrible. He had the shield. They tried to hit him with the shit. Man, they put that shield up. It just was real. You know what I'm saying? It was gangster. He was a gangster, bro.
Right.
He was a predator. You know what I'm saying? And them Gadites, them Native American warriors, man, he was invisible. And they still went to war and fought him. I mean, he tore into them, but they went out. They died an honorable death. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
And even
right.
the way they dealt with the predators was honorable. At the end, she had that devil. She cut that leg off and let him lay out there. Nachaswan. That's why he came to the mud, because she put the foot in the mud.
Mhm.
That's why he came to the quicksand. She cut the devil's foot off, and when he went and killed the colonizer, she ran. She shot him in the head, ran, and she threw that foot in the middle of the quicksand. That's why he jumped in the middle of that quicksand.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's
I see
cool.
what you're saying, though.
But
He's still stupid as hell,
yeah,
though. You're
but yeah, this cat is quicksand. Then too, somebody has explained to me how the hell he got out of the quicksand. He kind of just rose up, no problem. I thought that defeated the purpose of quicksand. I seen a horse go through quicksand in the Never Ending Story. That horse didn't have a goddamn chance, and he was being pulled out of it. This guy he can't fly. He just rose up. I said, "Come on, man! What
He the predator, man. He got to the bottom and tried to jump out, but he couldn't. He got as high as he could get. You know what I'm saying? He got as high as he could get, bro. And then
Uh-huh.
he got just high enough to try and shoot the bitch, even though his helmet wasn't on, and he
Right.
ended up dome shotting himself. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question. I'll get Cap if I could.
Go ahead.
So just to say hypothetically, right? So this movie is in the books. What I wanted to pose is a question to both of y'all and to the people online too watching. How do you book and write Prey Part 2? Like, what does that movie look like now?
Well, okay, I think Prey Part 2 is Predator.
No,
don't
but I
think
mean,
there's a Prey Part 2.
well, if they did they would probably have to milk this thing a little bit. But just say, hypothetically speaking, if that movie didn't exist, Predator didn't exist, the first one, what would Prey 2 be like?
Man, horrible. It'd be bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would look like, but Prey 2 would be what? Were we not gonna blame the colonizer for killing the Native Americans? It's gonna be the predators wiping them out. Like that's the only,
Yeah, like it
that's the
kind
only.
of
So now we're gonna lie about history. We're gonna make it. And that it wasn't the colonizers that murdered these people. It was the predators. Please don't do that. Goddamn.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh damn.
Hey Ryan, what you got on it?
I'm not really for sequels, man. To be honest, I'm not really for a sequel because like a sequel is like a hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you kind of like taking a risk when we do a sequel too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Well,
I would not. I don't think I would watch it, but I wouldn't pay to watch it. I'll say that.
Mhm.
Well, it's interesting you said that, Ra'an, because we didn't pay to watch this one, and I think that's kind of what made it a good movie. I didn't feel robbed. I didn't feel duped. It's like I sat at home on
Right.
my couch, turned on my Hulu, turned the lights down. Got a little popcorn. Actually, it wasn't popcorn. It was like whatever the hell I wanted to eat for dinner. But it was good to watch the movie and not feel like I just spent $30 to sit in this theater, eat this nasty ass popcorn, drink this giant bum ass soda, and now I'm angry because this goofy motherfucker jumped in the mud after a leg. Like I think that this was a great success for these streaming platforms, and I think more of those streaming platforms. I think this movie may be a launching point for high grade, low budget films, if that makes any sense. Meaning, it's a film that's not going to be in box offices. It's not going to make you $100 million, but you can sell it to Netflix for 50, and they'll get them. People streaming to tune in. The brother Tribe of Judah on YouTube wanted to know what didn't we like about the movie. I guess he might be specifically speaking to me because I just gave a glowing review. Um, I mean, I can't really say it wasn't too much I didn't like about the movie, but at the same time, I go into movies knowing it's a movie, and this movie I had low expectations because of how shitty all the other Predator movies have been. So I didn't really have my expectations up, and again, I'm sitting at home on my couch, so hey, just tune in, watch the Predator kill some shit. But it was more than that for me. It was a lot better than what I anticipated. The cost run.
Yeah.
Just if I could, I just think that the ending, if we talk about like how the Predator the movie ended. Not so much as her at the end walking, throwing the head. I'm not talking about that, but the Predator died in such a anticlimactic way that it took me out of the movie. So when her brother, and I said this a couple of days ago, when her brother was tearing that Predator up, he's yelling, he's like, hey! That right there, that felt more climactic for me. So when I seen the ending, when it's time for her to fight, I'm like, okay, gadgets and now quicksand. Like I think that it should have been like a brawl. Like, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like it was much to chew on at the end. It kind of was like, okay, I guess now he's dead. So it kind of fell flat for me at the end. That's my biggest takeaway from that.
I got you, Ryan.
It wasn't really a disappointing film at all. I think it was interesting all throughout the whole film. Like I didn't even use the bathroom. I stayed in my bed watching the film. You know what I'm saying? Like I was holding my piss for the longest watching this film.
Yeah.
It wasn't boring at all. It wasn't boring at all. Like, you know what I'm saying, the story was good, the dialogue was good. It wasn't disappointing at all. Besides the Predator, you know, being like dumb or whatnot. But other than that, though, it was an interesting film. I liked it. I would give that movie A minus.
A minus. I give it an A minus as well. Like I said, it's a straight to, back in the days they would have straight to DVD movies. This is a straight to blockbuster movie. It was, you know, had the weight of being part of a storied franchise with a lot of failures. But with the director coming from these highly touted films like 10 Cloverfield Lane, The Boys. I mean, he did an excellent job of taking a story that has been tried to be told several times over, and he made this one a success. I was thoroughly pleased, man. I was entertained, so I give it A minus as well.
I mean, again,
Nachaswan, go ahead. Nachaswan, keep it funky. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am. The words can't express. I'm trying to put them all together. I would give this movie. Well, I like the Native American aspect, of course. That was, to me, what kept me sitting in the chair. You know what I'm saying? But I would give this movie 2 trash cans and a thumbs up. I'm not grading it A. I would give it a T for trash, but I can't really say that it was ultimate garbage. But it's 2 trash cans and a thumbs up. That's what I would give it.
2 trash cans and a thumbs up.
Yeah, 2 trash cans.
Well, folks, that's what's up. Well, listen, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you all for joining us, man. This has been Black Men on Movies, the Prey movie review. We're gonna be coming to y'all with a whole lot more content, man. I want y'all to continue to tune in. You know what I'm saying? Like, let us know what y'all thought about me, and we will be with you all next time. Media channel, Black Men on Movies. Again, I want to thank my guest, Nachaswan, the most entertaining brother on the. I want to thank my other guests, the Iron Sapien himself, Raim, for joining us. Salute to you all, brothers, and Angry Black Man Media Squad. We will holler at y'all, and we out.